Pranams to Sri Ramakrishnan. It was such an enlightening session today. I think I am going back with a lot of thought process, and I have not done the river of journey, the exercise, but probably I am going to do that because it's wonderful to get this type of a perspective to refine, reflect, and re-engineer, the purpose of life. Extremely nice. And also thanks to you, Giri, first for inviting me and also sharing your journey. It was so nice and bold enough. Many a time people shy away, sharing this with so much of openness. And you did it in such a beautiful manner. Thank you so much for that. You did mention about Merck there. And I just want to share a small incident, which also made me join Merck. Uh, you must be aware, I was heading Schering Plough in India, and Schering Plough was acquired by Merck. And many a time, and I have gone through 5 of these mergers and acquisitions in my career. And many a time, what happens is that when a merger of this kind happens, and if you are in a good multinational, you get a good compensation package actually at a senior level if you are exiting. In fact, and the money is quite, interesting. And it is very, very attractive. So some of my colleagues in Schering Plough, they said, hey, KG, listen, what are you going to do, now that this has happened? I said, I don't know at this stage. I'm having an interview with Ken Frazier. He was the CEO of Merck. He said, I'm having a meeting with Ken. Let me meet Ken and then see what am I going to do. I had an hour and a half meeting with Ken in Singapore. And I came back, and then all my colleagues, from Schering, they were pretty anxious, and they asked, hey, KG, what are you going to do? I said, listen, I don't know what Ken is going to do. But if he is going to offer me the job, I'm going to accept the job and not the money, because this gentleman had a purpose in life, and he was truly following the Merck philosophy. Medicine is for people, not for profit. And that's exactly what we want to do. And the more we do, profits are always followed. That aspect really appealed to me. I said, listen, being in the pharmaceutical industry, one thing is to make money for yourself. And as you said, it's a good one, spirituality with materialism. Great combination. I said, if we are able to achieve something, by contributing, and at the same time, having some material pleasure, it makes a lot more sense. And lo and behold, I was one of those fortunate to get this opportunity to work with Ken, and I accepted it. That's what, the purpose that we talked about is something that is stuck with me quite a bit. And maybe I'll take 30 seconds more, Giri, and I will stop.
Sure.
Sometimes you also talked about hurdles. And I had joined earlier, before, joining Schering Plough, another largest pharma, group. And there again, I was in a company called Pharmacia. It got acquired by another company. I don't want to name it. I'm sure many of you would have guessed. And I joined this particular company. And within the first week, my boss calls me and tells, hey, KG, listen, there is a problem. And I said, what is it? He said, there is a solid non-compliance issue, and we have to handle it. And in all probability, a good number of people, not small number, a good number of people may have to be terminated. I said, this is crazy. I have not even taken, my announcement has also not come in. Okay, I have been told only to me that I am going to get this particular job. And I'm told that I have to first go there and terminate people. I had a lot of conversation, and what then finally I thought was, listen, the termination that is being done is not being done for an individual joy. but because something was not compliant. Okay, so what you are doing, if it is for the right purpose, even if it is painful and if it is seen as an obstacle, but if it is the right thing, you better go and do it, and do it in the right manner. So here I then get the, job. I go there, and along with the team, it's not me alone. It's a wonderful team that we had. We had to, terminate about 80 and odd people. It's not a small number. And we went and spoke to every one of them and explained to them what they would do if they are in my position. And practically speaking, everybody said, "Saab, देखो हमें तो हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकेंगे. आप जो करना है करो, हम वही मानेंगे. क्योंकि आप जो बता रहे हो वो ठीक है." And literally people accepted, and then, and it was sad. It was very sad because many of them unfortunately got caught into that wrongful act, not that they were wanting to do. And as leaders, that's what I also believe, is that the happiest thing for me is, along with my team, out of these people who got terminated, at least to 95% of them, we ensured that they got a good, decent job, because inherently they were very good people. But unfortunately, they did a very solid non-compliant activity. I actually appreciate my leadership team because they are the ones who really ensured that they also got a good, placement later on. It gives me a lot of, satisfaction. So the reason I shared these two things are, number one, purpose that you talked about. And the second is that if you are doing the right things, even if it is a very strong, obstacle, be on the right path, because that's what will take us to a wrong runway. And when I was listening to you, Mr. Ramakrishnan, these were the thoughts I was reflecting upon, because what this struck me was 10, 15 years back, not in the recent past, 15, 20 years types. So thank you so much for once again opening my eyes. Wonderful learning, wonderful education, and my namaskars and pranams to both of you.
Thank you, KG. Thank you so much. I think, may I request Harish to speak, because I think there is so much Tata stories in all of this, and I think Harish, you are the sort of talk about it, Harish. Actually, thank you.
So all I want to say, Giri, is what a wonderful session that Ramki conducted for all of us. Mr. Ramakrishnan, thank you very much. I've known you on campus, but this is the first time I'm hearing you speak. And the story of Hanuman is such an inspirational story for all of us. But I think the one takeaway I have, Giri, from today is that each of us, I think developing a purpose in our life is important. And like many of you have said at the beginning of this session, we are fortunate to be part of a group which was set up with a purpose by Jamshedji Tata. But how did he develop that purpose? All of us are aware that he set up Tata Steel because he wanted India to have its own steel plant. He set up Taj Hotel. History tells that he set up the Taj Hotel because he wanted the city of Bombay to come back after the bubonic plague and wanted a mighty resurgent symbol of Bombay. He set up Indian Institute of Science. He thought that science and technology education was very important for the country to progress. And actually, on each of these, he had obstacles. He had to get the best technologists from outside the world to set up Tata Steel. He had to, his initially his family did not agree with his setting up the Taj Hotel. And similarly, on the Indian Institute of Science, Lord Curzon refused to agree to his proposal, and the British government took a long time, which is why he reached out to Swami Vivekananda and got the help and evangelism of others. But we should remember, as we are searching for our own purpose, I think aligning to the organizational purpose is important. And the Tata Group that Jamshedji Tata set up has remained true to its purpose of doing its best for the nation and community even today. But the other thing that you need to realize is that it took time for Jamshedji Tata to discover his purpose. Set up our group in 1868. He started with one mill called the Empress Mills, which was a textile mill in Nagpur. There in 1887, he In 1895, he introduced an accident compensation scheme. In 1901, for the first time in India, he introduced a provident fund scheme, which no one else had done before. And he said that, at that stage, he was taking care of his employees because he said, we are not more unselfish or generous than others, but we consider the interests of our health and welfare of the employees our own. And that is our route to prosperity. And using that, Empress Mills became one of the most profitable enterprises in this country. It paid bonus shares, I'm told shareholders multiplied their wealth 50 times. So what was employees initially then widened out to community. He started night schools in Nagpur. He started, reading programs for women in Nagpur. The women's school was established in Nagpur, and community eventually the nation. And that is how nation and doing good for the community and the nation became his core purpose, which drove him throughout life. As we hear about Hanuman and the fact that he did not find Sita in his initial search in Lanka, I'm also reminded, many of us have heard the successes Giri and Ramakrishna, all of you in Jamshedji's life. But do you also know that there were areas that he did not succeed? There were failures that he learned from, but he still kept going because of his purpose for the nation. So let's mention three of those. He wanted to put up a huge vegetable and fruit freezing center, which could freeze and hold vegetables and fruit at the location that is now Crawford Market in Mumbai. And this was well before Tata Steel was done or well before Taj happened. It did not work, but he did not lose hope because he still said, I will do something which is good for his country. He established a shipping line in India in collaboration with NYK of Japan, because he thought the P&O shipping line of the UK was making too much money from the merchants of Mumbai. He bought 2 ships for the Tata Group. That was the first time the Tata name was ever used on a company. Unfortunately, the British government continued to subsidize P&O lines, and the Tata shipping line could not succeed. He had to actually abort the Tata shipping line and sell those 2 ships. He was very keen to grow long stapled cotton in India, but and he tried a number of experiments, but eventually he did not have the time or the bandwidth to succeed. So we must remember, even as we look at the life of Jamshedji Tata, his purpose was, let me do what is good for India, let me do what is good for the community. So even these did not stop him from continuing to dream throughout his life. On his deathbed, when he was in Germany, he doubt art was giving way. He was an elderly man. On his deathbed, there were a few days when he had time out, when he was feeling better. And on those days, he was actually thinking of how to grow Mediterranean fruits in India, growing date fruits in India, saying their. So when you have a purpose, it keeps you going throughout the rest of your life. But you take time to discover your purpose. Take time to discover your purpose. But once it comes into your life, it stays with you forever. So Giri, those are the reflections I had as I heard Mr. Ramakrishnan speak, and what a fantastic session. And thank you for sharing your own search for your purpose, Giri. Well, wonderful being part of this session. Thank you for inviting.
Thank you, Harish. Thank you. Thank you. I think Prabhat, Rohit, anyone else, you want to add any perspectives?
No, Giri, I think this is enlightening for many of us, and it's a journey of excellence, and all of us are on this journey, and each one of us has to realize that the purpose for all of us is to excel in life and to reach, as Ramki was mentioning, about Jivatma to Paramatma. That's a longer journey, but in the quest of doing so, you have to have the right purpose, you have to have the right set of people along, and sure enough, that's what will guide you and help you to become a better person. Thank you.
Thanks, Prabhat. Is Mr. Anantharaman here? I mean, Mr. Anantharaman, sir, are you here, sir? I don't know if he has joined, I think.
No, can't see him.
No, can't see him. Okay, okay. Any other comments from anybody, please? Anyone? I think.
Giri,
yeah.
There are some good questions. Comments and questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just go quickly through I know it's very late. You thought 2 hours, already at 2 hours 15. Renu Basu has said that it's a blessing to be in the organization, where everybody is putting the company first. I think that's fantastic. Pankaj Khanna has a view on medical prescription and reading the scriptures versus actually doing practice. And I think that's really fantastic. Our guru speaks about medicine, and he speaks about that with respect to multiple religions, and that everybody, you can't say, oh, I have a red medicine, but that guy is getting a green one, I'm going to go eat that because your medicine is suitable for you. You're right, you do have to take the medicine. Just knowing that it's there is not sufficient. So that's a very, very good point there from Pankaj Khanna. Raki has asked a question that she's been pondering on how to stay rooted in purpose when the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel seems so far away. I think, like the current pandemic is a very, very valid point. Our revenue has dropped so much and profits, of course, have become such a big loss. I think, this combination of the material goal and the spiritual goal gives you a much better routing than if you had only one or the other. And some spiritual practice, whatever works for you. For some people it's yoga, for some people it's reading. I know people who read Ramayana every day or the Bible every day. They have a chapter, or some people it's maintaining a gratitude journal. Have something you do that will help you stay rooted in purpose. It would be my suggestion. Shankaracharya, thank you for your comment. It's amazing what you say, that there are many more temples for Hanuman than there are for Rama. How true. Somebody who has done so much service, of course, everybody finds that much more inspiration. Ajay Shrotri is saying that we need to notice the inspirations that are available to us every day, and that's one of the big things that Giri has been talking about. Awareness. You have inspiration, you have purpose. How much are you able to tune your awareness to that? And thank you for your nice words, that it was a fantastic, memorable, inspiring evening. I feel very happy to read that. Sanjeev Gupta, he's given a very nice comment that was very enlightening and inspirational. Similar from C.A. Sridhar Swain and Ashit Seth. I have not understood. Ramki, any suggestions for the large part of this team who has so-called not yet arrived? Arrival is an important thing. It denotes some destination. There's a lot of pleasure in the journey, Ashish. That's what I would say. Like when you take the cogwheel rail up the Mount Pilatus, it's very enjoyable. The journey itself is very enjoyable. Brunda is saying that Hanuman had a great understanding of Rama Rasayana and therefore was able to serve him well. Thus, we need to understand the larger purpose, and for our purpose to be aligned, we need to understand the purpose of the organization. Beautiful comments, very, very nice. This is a fantastic fireside chat, and Giri, again, thank you for inviting me, and really had a wonderful time. Thank you.
No, thanks, Ramki, and I think I must thank all of you for joining the session. And I think every time I call these sessions, I'm usually nervous because some of these subjects can be difficult to kind of explain to an audience actually. And to an extent, I think I'm so, sometimes I tell my friends that, my team joins whenever I call. But thank you so much for joining actually. And I have nothing else to say.
We have two more hands from Mohit.
Two more hands up, okay?
Adding Mohit to this.
Yeah, Mohit, yes.
Yes, sir. I think this session has been very, very enlightening. Give me a moment. I think I'm having some echo. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better now.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So basically, the issue here is, I mean, I think I've been having so much discussion with you, but what you said today, giving your whole life and how the struggles have happened, it's like it's very, very inspiring. And definitely, Mr. Ramki's, things what he told us, I mean, that's also very, very inspiring. Just one observation and a kind of a question also, the same is a question as well, is, in my life, I have experienced once or twice, actually once is the real time when I've experienced that you are down. I mean, some event has happened in which you are down, totally down, your chips are down, you don't know how, you can't well, sometimes many people don't support you, sometimes that is the time when you know who's your friend, who's not your friend. And at that point of time, to have the right choices and to go along and, have your grit, or maybe have a kind of a fire in you so that you come out of that, that is very important. And I think that may define that person, because if those choices at that point of time go wrong, you could be a different person altogether. So that point of time, whatever I did, I would have been a very different person, and I would have like faded thing, not doing anything meaningful in life. So my question here is that what is your, what can be your, in such a situation, if a person is, what is the advice? What is the advice? But it's very difficult. It's difficult for people. Yeah, that's.
Mohit, I think what you said has got such deep truth in it. As Giri was saying, there are sometimes things that happen in our life which really change everything. Change our perspective, change whatever we think about, whatever we think is the purpose of our life, and so on. And sometimes it takes that kind of event to really change the thinking or change what you do. Sometimes it is people you meet. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a shloka, it says, Kshana Sangena Sadhushu. Don't know why it happens, but sometimes you meet somebody and in an instant, a lot of things change in your life. So it could be something like that. And you're very right, like Giri was saying earlier, if he had continued and not come to India back, his life would have been very different. Things he would have been doing will be very different. So there are some decisions that you make based on certain events, but if that is already based on some awareness, not necessarily a full one, of your purpose, then your direction, you go further along your direction than if it is just not based on that. Then you go somewhere and then you come back. People have seen that too. They take some decisions and then they figure, oh, sorry, I really am meant to do this in my life. So it's the question of how many of those variations you have before you go versus, and there I think, like there is something beyond us, right? Whether it is karma or some blessing of your parents, grandparents, or previous lives, or whatever it is that really gives you that direction sooner or later. And, sooner probably gives you a different way of, like Prabhatji was saying, it's a long road to get self-actualization and get that oneness with serving like Hanuman did to Rama. But we have to go in a journey that we enjoy. It's better to enjoy the journey than not to enjoy. Yeah. So yeah, I hope, that part I found great truth in what you said.
And the last part on this was, this is an event, it happened at a very young age, about almost the age when I was almost 20 years of age. And after this event, I think it has given me lots and lots of strength. And I think had that event not happened, that strength in me would not have been there.
Yeah. No, thank you, Mohit. I think we had one more question. Huh?
Yeah, two more comments here. One is, I don't know who it is, it says iPad 5. So thank you for your words on of course, thanking Giri for sharing his journey. And Karishma, thank you for your comments, the inspiring choices and dealing with adversity. Thank you for that. And Alice, yeah, true. We do need a lot of strength. It is troubling times, and we do need some inspiration to go ahead. Thank you for that, Alice. Yeah.
Raman?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Mr. Ramki. It was a fantastic session. I mean, all of us have most of us have read the Ramayana, right from childhood, whether it was a bedtime story or whether it was Amar Chitra Katha or whatever. I mean, I have not read the Sundara Kandam and Kishinda Kandam, but the way you brought about the Hanuman, how he changed his strategy for each of the attacks that he could have had. I mean, that was amazing. Yes, we know about all of those, but we didn't think on those lines, he used a different strategy. That was amazing. So that actually, I think most of us would have felt that, all of us have read the Ramayana, but, we didn't think on those lines. I have a lot of points, but I'm not going to delve too much into it. But I have a couple of comments, no questions, couple of comments to make. I am conscious that most of us are in India and it is too late on a Saturday evening. People would want to move from one type of spirituality to the other type. So I would keep my comments short. I was only trying to put myself in the shoes of many of my finance department colleagues who may feel, and I have felt it many a time, not now, but before, what is the purpose of my life? What is my purpose in life? And it is a fantastic thing that Giri forwarded, and Giri took us through the journey. So it's good for all of us to kind of put our own milestones, whether it is in this company, whether it is in all the other earlier employments that they've had, and then also see what changed. I mean, like you talked, I will not go into it in deep, but what changed me and what could I have done better? So you can learn from that. So that's something amazing that we do, that we can do. Many people may feel, I don't have a purpose in life. I just have to, providing for family is also a purpose. Many of us I come from a reasonably lower middle class family. I have told my children, I don't have wealth. I mean, even if I have wealth, it doesn't belong to you. The only wealth I'm going to give you is education, nothing else. So that they are aware that that's what they're going to live with and they have to fend for themselves. That's what my dad did. I mean, he couldn't provide us anything more than the education. So the purpose could be providing for the family as well. But let no one think, this is my last statement, let no one think that they don't have a purpose in life. Oh, I am not so useful. Remember that a stopped clock also shows time correctly twice in a day. I mean, I'm talking about the 12-hour format and not the 24-hour format. So, sorry, the 24-hour format and not the 12, whatever. So it shows the correct time twice in a day. So all of us have a purpose in life. All of us need to locate that purpose and work towards that. And that's what I would like to leave you with. Thank you very much, Ramki. Thank you, Giri, for this fantastic session. Yeah, really.
No, thank you. Thank you. I think, as you said, it's 9:30. And if it's okay with you, we will end the session. Thank you, Ramki. Thank you, Harish. Thank you, KG. Thank for all of you for attending it. There was, I think this purpose thing is so nice. We played the video in the beginning of the life of a mayfly, which kind of lives for a day. It lives for a day. And one day, people who see mayflies, they see this spectacular display near the water, actually. Then it hits and dies, actually, in a day. So I think, even something as small as a mayfly with a time span of one day kind of has a purpose of procreating, actually. So I think we have a lifetime to do it, actually. I think, so therefore, I think, think about it, guys. I think reflect on your lives. And I'm sure that we will all lead to much more enriched and happy lives. Thank you so much.